Hello, my name is JoaoVictorKarline. I'm from Brazil and I'm excited to present my final project for the cybersecurity course from CS50. This presentation was recorded on July 28, 2024. You can find me on ADX with the username jvkarline and on GitHub under the account JoaoVictorKarline. Well, I chose this article from the Hacker News. It discusses a new ransomware group exploiting a vulnerability in Vim backup software. I decided on this topic because it relates to topics covered in the security systems and security data lectures, and because ransomware is one of the most current threats, and understanding how these attacks works is essential for developing effective defense strategies. This article describes the actions of a new ransomware group called State Ransomware. This group exploits a CV vulnerability in Vim backup software. This vulnerability allows them to run arbitrary commands on the backup server and gain access to credentials from database. So, some of the technologies involved in this attack include the Vim backup and replication, which is a very popular backup and replication solution for virtual environments like VMware and Hyper-V. Ransomware has been implemented on all servers, including backup server, file server, and failover server. Brute force technique used to gain initial access to the network. The CV vulnerability on Vim backup was exploited to run arbitrary commands on the backup server. Lateral movement was used to navigate through the network. A backdoor was implemented to maintain persistent access. And the NetScan tool was used to map the network and find points of entry. So, the initial access to the network was obtained through a dormant account called ACC1 via SSL VPN of the FortiGate firewall by brute force. After accessing the FortiGate, the attackers moved laterally to the failover server, establishing RDP connections from the firewall to the server. To stay in the system, the attackers used a backdoor called svchost.x. This backdoor was set to connect to a C2 server controlled by them via HTTP to send malicious commands. Since the SVC host is a legitimate process, it made the detection harder. Within the network, as a local user, the attackers were able to exploit the Vim backup vulnerability, which allowed them to enable a SQL server feature called XP-CMD shell. This feature permitted them to run system commands through SQL command line. With this, the attackers were able to use tools like NetScan to find points in the network, create a Vim backup account to maintain access, and move laterally from failover to other hosts, such as the file server. In a second stage, the attackers disable Windows Defender using Defender control and then deployed the ransomware on the hosts, encrypting all servers, including the backup server, failover, and file server. So, what are the recommendations and lessons learned? First, patch management and updates. The attackers exploited the vulnerability in Vim backup. Certainly, updating and patching quickly could have prevented the exploitation of this flaw. Multi-factor authentication. The initial access was gained through brute force from an inactive account, Implementing multi-factor authentication and the strict access controls could have made it more difficult for attackers. Monitoring and incident response, establishing continuous monitoring systems to detect those suspicious activities in real time, such as CM and ADR, would certainly would reduce the incident detection time. Backup and recovery. The sensor encrypted all the servers. I mean, secure backup could have made the recovery after the attacker easier. Account and privilege security. The inactive account used by the attackers was weight into the attack. Regularly reviewing and managing user accounts could have prevented or detected the use of compromised accounts. And protection against defense deactivation, implementing measures to prevent and detect the deactivation of security tools as Windows Server could have helped stop the ransomware from spreading and causing significant damage. Well, in conclusion, the ransomware attack shows the importance of strong cybersecurity best practices. The attackers exploited a no vulnerability, used an inactive account, and disabled security tools to deploy the ransomware. To protect against such threats, it's crucial to update systems, monitor for suspicious activities, enforce strong access controls, and maintain security backups. Preventing the deactivation of security tools is also essential. Staying proactive vigilant against threats is the key to safeguarding our systems. This was my final project. Thank you for watching and for your time.